Okay, so we are rendering all the items. But the thing is that we have one component right here, news list item, that needs to grab this information and show each news, each post. So we need to do that right now. First, we don't have anything inside news list item. So we need to create a component for this. So first I'm going to do import React, yes, React from, and then of course we need to bring it from React. There you go. So now we're going to create a functional component because we don't need classes right here. We don't need a state. It's going to be const, and then of course it's going to be equal to news, something that makes sense, news item. Okay. So this news item is going to be equal to a function, just like this. And this function is going to be rendering something. So we're going to say render. Oh, sorry, not render, return. So this news item is going to receive the props that we're going to be passing from the parent component, which is going to be news list. Okay. So this return for now is going to be just a div. And what I want to do, I want to console log the props that we're going to pass, just to check that everything works okay. Okay. So now we need to make this component available from other components. So we're going to say export default and then news item. Good. So this one, it's kind of already right now. So we need to import this news list item inside here, inside news list. Okay. So I'm going to bring it just like we did before. I'm going to say import, and the name was news item. And we're going to bring this one from, and then we're going to bring it from / and news list item, just like that. So now instead of passing this, I'm just going to cut this, I'm going to paste it right here at the bottom and comment this out. We're going to be using it later. So instead of passing some data, what I can do, I can make a reference, we can make a reference to this news list item, and we can pass on each iteration the actual item. So we're going to be returning one single element on each iteration. So we're going to go right here and we're going to say news item. Okay, let me close it like this. So this news item is going to go to the news list. It's going to, for example, read the first iteration, is going to go to news item, is going to go to this file, and it's going to pass it as props. So if we console log the props, we can see that we have 4 different objects. Okay, so we're calling it 4 times. No, we are doing the console log of props, but of course props, it's still empty. So if we go back to the news list, we can pass the props. Now we can choose whatever name we wish. I'm going to say item, makes sense. The item is going to be equal to item, just like this. So now this news item, this item is going to be inside props. So if we check props, we have 4 different props on 4 different iterations. And on each one, we have different data. First one is going to be the ID number 1, then 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's good. So now what we can do, we can grab this inside props, and we can make a reference to whatever we are doing right here at the bottom. You know, we are exporting, we are rendering some template. So, okay, I'm going to cut and I'm going to paste it inside the return. Make this a little bit nicer. So now we're going to get an error message. Failed to compile, item it's not defined. And it's because item, it is not defined. Item, it's not inside item. We are not using a map right here. We are just passing the data inside props. So what we need to do, we need to make first a reference to props and then item. And then again, props.item. And it's going to reload the page. A few seconds. Well, the internet, it's a little bit slow. And okay, we are getting it. Okay, that's good. So now we're going to get a different error message. And we can, let's go back. We can make this a little bit better. Instead of using props, what I can do, I can bring the item. And instead of doing props.item, we can say, like before, item, and it's still going to work. So what is happening right here? What I'm doing? So this is going to be ES6. It's going to be called destructuring. It's the same idea that we are doing right here at the top. We have access to a big object, and we are saying, okay, dude, from that big object, we only need components. So bring me components. So we are doing the same thing right here. From props, which is the argument that we are getting, I want to just get the item. And right here, we make a reference to that. So same idea. Okay, so we get an error message. It's going to say each child in array or iterator should have a unique key or prop. Now, then this is from React. Now, whenever you work with a map or maybe some iterator or a looper or whatever you want to call it, you need to pass a key on each element on each iteration. If you return this element needs to have a key. Now, a key is going to be an ID, and this is from React. You can pass whatever key you wish as long as it's not repeated. So I'm going to say key, and it's going to be equal to, and then curly braces. If you remember, inside the div.json, for each news, each post, we have a different ID, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we can do, we can pass the key of that. So we're going to say item.id. And the error goes away. A little bit slow today. Okay, the error goes away. That's good. So remember to always add the key. If not, React is gonna give you that error message. Okay, so that's good. So let's go to the next section. I want to talk about something else that it's kind of related to props. Let's go to the next section and talk about the children of props.